The royal family, long regarded as the epitome of unity, tradition, and unwavering solidarity, has for centuries stood as a beacon of stability. Yet, beneath the surface of this flawless image, a storm has been brewing for months, a storm that would finally break during the coronation of King Charles III. The once-in-a-lifetime event, meant to mark the dawn of a new era, became the stage for a dramatic family crisis, one that no one could have predicted. Tensions within the royal household, previously concealed behind regal smiles and carefully staged appearances, reached a boiling point that day. At the heart of the unfolding drama were two women, Queen Camilla and Princess Katherine. Their relationship, once believed to be rooted in mutual respect and understanding, had become a battlefield, one that threatened to unravel the very fabric of the monarchy itself. Royal biographer Tom Bower, known for his sharp insights into the royal family's inner workings, has made it clear that these tensions have been brewing for quite some time. What started as small, private grievances between the two women has now escalated into a full-blown rivalry that is impossible to ignore. The stakes are high, and both women know it. Their feud, which had once been veiled in politeness, has now exploded into open conflict, revealing not only the fragility of their relationship, but the deep rifts within the royal family itself. As the world watched, the coronation, an event intended to showcase the unity of the monarchy, revealed just how far the divide between them had grown. In the lead-up to the coronation, it was a seemingly trivial matter that would ignite the first sparks of conflict. The guest list, of all things, would prove to be the catalyst. On the surface, it seemed like a minor detail, a list of names and titles, but in the world of royalty, where every move is scrutinized and every gesture carries weight, this was no small thing. Queen Camilla, who had long been seen as a stabilizing force within the family, took the bold step of inviting 20 members of her own Parker Bowles family to the coronation. In stark contrast, only 4 members of Princess Catherine's family, the Middletons, were granted the privilege of attending. To those who were watching closely, the implications of this disparity were impossible to ignore. The message was clear: Camilla's family was being prioritized, while Catherine's, despite their deep ties to the royal family, were left to linger in the background. For Katherine, this was more than just a slight. It was a direct challenge to her position within the royal fold and to the years of loyalty and support her family had shown. As the coronation unfolded, what should have been a joyful and historic occasion became marred by a palpable sense of discomfort and unease. The atmosphere in Westminster Abbey was stiff, formal, and anything but celebratory. And when King Charles and Queen Camilla made their exit, something extraordinary happened. The congregation, as tradition dictates, bowed or curtsied to the newly crowned monarch. But when Queen Camilla passed, not a single curtsy or bow was offered. The slight was immediate, glaring, and unmistakable. It was a moment of silent protest, a challenge to her authority and to her very presence within the royal family. No one could ignore it. Even the most loyal subjects in the crowd could feel the shift in the air, the crack in the facade of unity that had long been the royal family's hallmark. Amid the silence, one figure stood out above the rest: Prince William. His expression was tight, his posture rigid, and his gaze fixed firmly ahead. The strain on his face was evident to those who knew him well. He had been witnessing the growing rift between his wife, Katherine, and Queen Camilla for months, and it was clear that the tension had now become unbearable. For the first time in years, it seemed that the royal family's carefully constructed image of unity was being torn apart, piece by piece. And at the heart of it all was a bitter feud between two women who once held such promise of harmony. The simmering conflict between Camilla and Katherine could no longer be contained, and it reached its boiling point in the days following the coronation. Princess Katherine, frustrated and unable to remain silent any longer, demanded a private meeting with Queen Camilla. The setting for this confrontation was Buckingham Palace, the very seat of royal power, where decisions of great importance were made, and where history had been shaped. But this was no ordinary meeting. The stakes were higher than ever, and both women knew it. Behind closed doors, away from the prying eyes of the press and the public, they would finally face each other. Katherine walked into the room with a calm determination that masked the storm raging inside her. She had spent months preparing for this moment, rehearsing the words she would speak, the arguments she would make. Camila, ever composed and regal, sat waiting. But beneath her cool exterior, there was an undercurrent of tension. The meeting was more than just a conversation, it was a reckoning. It was about more than just the guest list or the coronation. It was about respect, recognition, and the future of the monarchy itself. "I do not wish to cause discord, Your Majesty," Katherine began, her voice steady but betraying a hint of anger. "But I cannot ignore the obvious slight." The words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. "My family, William's family, deserved to be there equally. The coronation was not just a moment for you and King Charles. It was a moment for the entire royal family. Yet, the Middletons were treated as if we were outsiders." Camilla's face remained unreadable, but those who knew her well could see the flicker of frustration in her eyes. She remained silent for a long moment, her fingers tapping lightly on the edge of the teacup in front of her. The tension between them was thick, a silent battle of wills. Finally, Camila spoke, her voice measured and controlled. "I understand your frustration, Katherine, but you must understand that there are always difficult choices to be made. It was a delicate balancing act. I did not intend to slight your family." But Katherine was not satisfied. "It's not just about a few names on a guest list, Your Majesty," she replied. "It's about respect. It's about the role my family has played in our success, in the monarchy's transition. The Middletons have been there for William and me from the very beginning. We owe them so much, and to treat them as if they do not matter, well, that is something I cannot simply overlook." The room seemed to grow smaller with each word, the air thick with tension. Camilla's lips pressed together, her eyes cold. She was not used to being challenged, especially not by a member of the royal family. And yet, here she was, facing an open confrontation from a woman who was no longer willing to stay silent. The conversation between them, while civil, was a stark reflection of the growing divide within the royal family. This was no longer just a family dispute. It was a fight for recognition, for authority, and for a future in which each woman would play a key role. The implications of this meeting were far-reaching, not only for their personal relationship, but for the very future of the monarchy. This was a battle for the heart and soul of the royal family, a battle that, by all accounts, was just beginning. As the conversation drew to a close, neither woman seemed willing to concede. Katherine's final words echoed in the room, a quiet but forceful declaration of her position. "This isn't just about the past, it's about the future. And I will not allow my family to be pushed aside." For Camila, the confrontation marked the beginning of a new chapter in her relationship with Katherine. It was clear that the delicate balance of power had shifted. The monarchy, once seen as an unshakable institution, now seemed more fragile than ever. The cracks that had formed beneath the surface were no longer hidden from the world. What had been a family united by tradition and duty was now a family divided, caught in the crossfire of personal ambitions and power struggles. In the days that followed, the fallout from this meeting would continue to reverberate throughout the royal family. The tension between Camila and Katherine was palpable, and the future of the monarchy seemed uncertain. As the royal family grappled with the fallout from the coronation, it became clear that the balance of power had shifted, and that the monarchy would never be the same again. And as the world watched, the once-in-a-lifetime coronation of King Charles III had become the spark that ignited a royal drama unlike any other, a drama that would shape the future of the monarchy for years to come.